So, how are you doing tonight, Shelby?
I'm doing great. Rita, how are you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Mm-hmm. That's good.
It's cold and wet.
It is cold and wet.
Sloppy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of construction at work right now, and everything is a mud pit, and so is my workspace.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Anyway, muddy.
So what brings you into your studio tonight?
You bring me in here.
I do.
You brought me in here.
I did.
We brought each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured we haven't hung out and talked in a while
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
on a mic
Yeah. Off mic a lot of times.
all the time.
All the time. So much time. Mm-hmm. Is it too much?
No, early mornings I do want to stab you with a pencil sometimes.
Why do you want to stab me with a pencil?
Because I like quiet.
Yeah.
I don't have a pencil usually readily at hand, so
Well,
it's,
that's
the risk is low.
That's because I hit him. Why don't you like to see me in the mornings?
I love seeing you in the mornings.
But there's a but. You pursed your lips like you're going to say but.
I still and will always love seeing you in the mornings. Hearing you sometimes is a little too much. I'm not ready for long conversations. I don't know. You know that feeling where you're like, I really should cherish this. I will miss this someday. It's not today.
You'll miss me when I'm gone.
I will definitely miss you when you're gone.
Nah.
I plan on going first,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Yeah. So we were talking earlier, and I like when we start having a conversation and say, hey, stop. Let's record this. It might be interesting.
Maybe.
You've been alive for 25 years now.
Yeah. Double that.
And not quite, but yes, we are actually pushing pretty close to double that.
Yep.
So we were talking earlier about our favorite decades, and we didn't talk very much about it. I said, you know what? This would be kind of fun to talk about a little bit. So we've both lived through the 80s. Mm-hmm. We were born in the end of the 70s.
Can't speak much for the 70s.
No, I was, I think I was still in diapers during the 70s.
Yeah.
All the way through mid-80s. I do not really remember the 80s very much. I have very little recollection of the 80s. I remember the Challenger explosion, the Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
I remember Reagan on TV. I don't really remember that much about the 80s. And then the 90s. Of course, that was more of formative years for us as we're growing, going into grade school, high school. We graduated high school at the end of the 1900s.
Mid-90s.
Mid-90s. It's still the end of the 1900s.
Sure.
And then we've been through the 2000s and the 2000s and 10s and 20s that we're in now.
When you say 1900s, we were in the 20th century, right? Like now we're
yeah.
in the 21st century?
Yeah, just don't ask me to explain it.
Okay. I
don't
just
know
want to
why.
make sure we're in the 1900s.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the 21st century. I mean, going towards the 2100s.
Okay.
No, I don't understand it. I don't know why I don't just say 20th century, because it's 20. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Which reminds me of Y2K. Do you remember Y2K?
I do.
Oh, my. The world was going to crash.
There was a lot of hoopla. The whole market was going to crash. Mm-hmm. Computers would stop working. We'd have no TV.
No banking. All the banks would lose their
Everything
money.
was shutting down. It was going to go black. Total blackout.
Yeah. How bad was it?
I don't think anything happened.
I don't remember it. Speaking of years and New Year's and Y2K, what are your favorite or most memorable New Year's? I'm guessing Y2K is one of them.
I don't specifically remember that year being memorable because of the year. It could have been, you know what I mean? It could have been a very memorable New Year's Eve because of a party, but
Yeah, that's
not
what I mean.
that I
Just-
remember that it was exactly because it was Y2K.
I guess I'm looking for New Year's that you remember because of some kind of
Event?
yeah.
My favorite memory is sitting on the beach with the fireworks and the ocean.
Growing up or younger.
I remember more as a maybe middle schooler that being awesome.
That being fun.
Being
Yeah.
a younger kid because I still didn't mind playing in the sand and jumping in the water.
Oh.
That's probably my best memories of New Year's Eve.
I don't have any exact best memories of New Year's Eve, but the most memorable one was 1999.
You love Prince, that song.
That is exactly why. I just remember, and I don't love Prince. I don't care for Prince at all. But rest in peace. But that song, yeah, Party Like It's 1999, that was definitely a song that I remember in coming up to 1999, the New Year's, 1998 to 99. It was just everywhere. They kept playing that. And that night, it was just like on a repeat.
Did it come out way before that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't misremembering.
I don't know when it came out, but it wasn't then. And that'd be something interesting. I wish I knew that. I wish I could look that up now, but I don't really care.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I don't like fact checking, because who cares? It doesn't change my life at all.
Yeah, who needs the truth?
Yeah, so all the decades that you've lived, why don't you let us know? The listeners are just dying to hear 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and the 2020s that we're in now. Maybe fill us in a little bit on where you were and what your life was like during those decades.
Yeah, I think it's very situational, probably a lot of different life experiences. So mine was definitely the late 80s.
Late 80s. That's not a decade. That's the end of a decade.
The 80s-ish.
80s-ish?
Yeah. 80s into 90s. Can I split the decades?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm whatever. It's your
it's
game.
the 90s. I'm lying anyway. It's the 90s.
I'm going to go 85, 95?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
85, 95.
Why is that?
I was a young kid,
Yeah.
but not too young to get in trouble. So middle school into high school. Tech was low. No cell phones. I think there were pagers. Might have started the flip phone times. Very unreliable. I don't even think, I don't think we had a flip phone even. I think it was like cranberry or Blackberries were starting to come out maybe.
I think you're back to flip phones in the mid-90s. Maybe. I mean, they were actually blocks phones, I think. I don't think they were flip yet. I don't think the flips came out to the 2000s.
Tech was low, so we could go out and have to explain ourselves later when we went past curfew.
Yeah, you go get reckless a little bit and have some fun. And I think nobody expected you to call because there was no way you could call.
Right.
There's no way for them to track you down, really, unless you literally went out in a car, drove around, started asking people or calling people's homes on their home phones and say, hey, have you seen my kid?
Life was just a little looser, little more freedom because there wasn't all this technology to keep us tied to each other.
Yeah, now we see people know where their spouses and their friends are at all times.
Oh, and how fast they drove down the road.
Yeah, they get alerts.
Yeah.
You're speeding. Stop speeding. Like, stop tracking me.
Right.
I'll do what I want.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's my favorite time. Did you say you had one?
I'd say about the same, really. And for the same reasons. I mean, 85 and on, I guess in 85 would have been like 7, 8. I can't do math. And from 8 years on, been through almost through high school. That was a good time in life.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot of responsibilities. I had a fair amount of freedom. I mean, kind of did what I wanted a lot of the time. And it's because I didn't make a lot of mistakes that my mom found out about. So she gave me some freedom. Because I was good about my crimes.
There is something to say about, I would not model my upbringing as an example of how other people should be raised, but there's something to say about making some mistakes and not having to answer to everything, like making your own mistakes and learning from them. Maybe you're learning from that instead of every single move you make, you're being watched.
Yeah.
Cause some anxiety, I imagine.
Yeah. And that creates a bigger conversation, and we should have a whole nother show on, is the Gen Xers. Us, Rita, the Gen Xers. Because we didn't have a lot of people watching over us.
No.
We were kind of free to go.
Yeah, I'm not even sure our parents liked us.
Yeah.
It was do not come home.
Yeah. It was
Die
door locked,
of thirst on the streets.
Stay outside. Don't come back in.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked many times about walking over to the woods with friends and family with machetes and just hacking away at whatever, logs on the ground. I wish I knew more about like mushrooms back then because I was in the woods a ton.
Oh, yeah. That would have been cool.
Even BB guns. And when I was, before I could drive in high school, I remember going out with rifles. We talked about that with our cousin this weekend.
I remember that I was in my late teens when I realized that when it rained too much in the bay I grew up in, the sewage backed up and it flooded the roads, and some parking lots would get flooded. Well, when I was little, I used to like riding my bike through those parking lots.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't remember my mom or dad or anyone warning me about sewage backup.
Sewage backup.
But when I got older, I realized that there was bubbling coming out of the sewer system.
My.
And I'm like, oh, wow, look at that. That's probably new. It wasn't happening when I was a kid. Yeah, there was a lot of things I think I would have told my kids about, like, hey, don't drive around and ride your bikes through those big giant mud puddles.
Yeah. Do you remember when I got sprayed in the face with sewage?
In Cancun.
You remember. Look at that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That reminded me of home. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a bad way.
Yeah, that was funny. We didn't stay in Cancun, but we did go see Cancun because of a large market there. I'm going to guess Market 23.
That sounds familiar.
Is that right?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, it's a market there, and if you go, it's magical. But we stayed south of Cancun, and then we came out of the market. I remember we had our 2 youngest boys there with us, and that market was not for the tourists.
No.
And it was a really good time. We walked around. We bought some, what's the pig belly?
Giant bag of chicharrones.
Chicharrones.
Bunch of pork skin fried up.
Yes. And that was good. I know because your son loves those. Like, he's a fiend for the chicharrones.
Yep.
Is it chicharrones or chicharrones?
Chicharrones. I don't know.
Yeah. We don't know. We don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
But I remember walking around that market. We weren't harassed, which was very nice. Sometimes you just get harassed when you're in other countries. And we found a little place to eat, plastic chairs, fantastic food. Some old man or some old woman, I don't remember, shredding cheese.
Yeah, it was an old man.
Yeah.
Big giant bowl.
Yeah.
And he was just hacking at the Oaxaca cheese.
And they were cooking all the taco-y foods. And out of nowhere, a mariachi band just started playing in the street.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and everybody just kind of looked at each other like, this is magical.
What made it magical in my memory, or even I think then where the tarps or whatever was blocking the sun were like orange tinted.
Yeah,
So it made everything look nice and pretty. You know, just
all of our
that
pictures
orange,
are tinted like,
orange
orange faces, orange tables, orange everything.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mariachi started playing.
Yeah.
And it was nice and cool. It wasn't too hot. We just sat there and ate too much pork fat,
Yeah.
whatever you call it.
It was nice because the people that ran the market didn't care, or that restaurant didn't care that we had our own food that we brought in. And I think your son got some rice and ate it with that. And they were like, yeah, it's fine. Just eat that. I mean, they didn't say it like that. Yeah, go for it. Like, there was a major language barrier. There was a lot of pointing and head shaking and fingers for numbers.
I don't remember any bad experience at that market. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was
I don't remember
excellent.
buying anything in there other than the food.
Yeah, we don't buy a lot when we go anymore.
There was some weird food, but the big bag of pork rinds was probably stuck out because it was probably 2 pounds.
Yeah,
I don't
it was
know,
a
it was
lot.
quite a bit. Well, we didn't know how to tell him how to order it. Well, he just pointed and he grabbed a bigger than a grocery bag, like a clear plastic bag, and he just started putting stuff in there, and then he handed it over to us.
Yeah,
like-
what is that? Like, we don't know. We don't understand money either. So
Yeah.
they had to point at our money.
Take all of it.
Yeah, probably paid $300. We don't know.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, that's when I got sprayed in the face. We were driving through Cancun. It was raining. Realized there was all the sewers backing up on the roads, and
From my childhood experiences, probably was me that pointed it out. So, I'm just kidding. We both saw it.
Yeah,
Manhole covers were shaking.
we were driving along and had the window open for some reason. I think it was because the car was steaming up, and it just got sprayed right in the side of the face.
Oh.
And it was, I realized that is not clean water at all.
Oh.
I don't really care. I just don't want to get sick when I'm on vacation. And I didn't.
Surprisingly, we were fine. All of us.
Yeah, no
Montezuma's.
What is it?
Montezuma's
Revenge?
Revenge. I think
Yeah. So, turned out good. But bring it back around to our favorite decade.
Yeah.
Luckily, I didn't grow up with sewer in the streets. But
I don't know. Yeah. It wasn't part of my childhood memories. When I got older, I realized that's probably what I was having so much fun in. Because the whole parking lots would be underwater.
yeah.
Imagine riding your bike through that. It's so much fun.
It's funny now. I talk to young people sometimes. They tell me about the old music, the old rock, and they talk about '90s rock. And it's not just rock. It's like, I mean, a lot of it is rock, and I don't even know what rock is anymore. But they like a lot of odd bands, like Pantera.
Yeah.
Been hearing that.
If you hear Green Day on a classic rock station,
Yeah, it's like Green Day.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Red Hot Chili Peppers. They were good, and of course, Nirvana. Rest in peace. That was a big moment growing up when Kurt Cobain. Whatever happened to Kurt Cobain happened.
Everyone was drawing that on their books.
Yeah, I was on lockers had Kurt Cobain pictures stuck all over them.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good decades. And the 2000s, that was a good decade. My son was born then. I was starting my career. A lot of struggles, those young years after high school when you're just trying to make a living and get through life. And that was probably one of the hardest decades I had. A lot of struggles. Not the early part. Actually, when I first started out, I was just working. I ended up working my way up in a company, had a decent job, and I was doing just fine. And then I realized I wanted more. I unfortunately started a business in 2006. 2008, the big market crash happened. And fortunately, wink, wink, I was in the housing industry, and that's which one got hit the worst. So, like 2 years after I started a business. It was like, fantastic. I don't know, 4 or 5 people working for me at the time. And yeah, those were hard years. And it's hard to explain to people now that we're looking back almost 20 years ago. Am I doing my math right? I think I am. Close to 20 years ago now. How rough the country was at that time and how hard things were. The mortgages were just, I don't even know if the mortgage rates, it didn't even matter what the mortgage rates were because everybody's losing their houses. It was an incredible time.
It made no sense to me from my perspective on how so many people were losing their houses, how many houses were getting foreclosed on so quickly. It didn't make any sense.
Do you know anything about
I didn't understand the big picture at the time.
Yeah. A lot of it had to do with loans for people who really shouldn't have got the loans. And they weren't able to afford them. Balloon payments. Have you ever heard of balloon payments?
Yeah. Yeah, something to stay away from.
You'll be making more money here in a few years. Then
That's such a dumb logic.
Your mortgage will go up. It's no big deal.
But you'd pay it down so much before then that it's not gonna make any difference.
Buy down your interest rate. Get you a lower rate. We'll get you in here for the next 5 years.
Oof.
Yeah, real good idea. And I know some people who bought farmland. It was taxed as farmland when they bought their property, and it was developed by a developer. So the taxes went up substantially after they bought the house when they reassessed the value.
Really?
Because it was empty lots when it was assessed, and they looked at whatever I have no idea what the cost was. This is going back quite some time. It was assessed as an empty lot. Well, then once the house got built, back then it was probably $120,000.
Yeah.
Which now is like, ugh,
Sounds
I don't even know if you
reasonable.
buy a house like that for that now. It was like $120,000 from $10,000 a lot was worth. So their taxes went way up, and then their balloon loans hit a few years later, and they just got slammed. And that was part of it. That was a lot of what was going on, at least in Central Ohio. Some of the big builders down there were building 300 plus houses every year, and it was just incredible.
And just less than 20 years from now, we don't have enough houses again.
Yeah, in the wild.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird time. I remember it very vividly. Yeah. The where were you when conversations, 2008 market crash. That was one traumatic period of time.
Yeah.
Not for me specifically, but I saw a lot of people had to serve foreclosures.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you were in the business of serving foreclosures.
It was multiple times daily. We're dropping off foreclosure paperwork to people.
Yeah. Real sad times.
It was. It was weird. I barely remember anyone being mad at the sheriff's office.
Oh, they were probably broken and they knew it was coming anyway.
Yeah, it was more that they saw it coming, and you're just the bringer. You're just the reaper.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Just dropping off the paperwork.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad, though.
And in the 2010s, those were kind of a blur. I moved in the 2010s. I don't know of anything really that's substantial besides trying to recover from the market.
You moved? Oh.
I moved, but I don't know, the 2010s, kind of a blur. I had a lot of life changes in 2010s.
Yeah.
found you, which was amazing.
Oh,
Ooh.
best decade ever.
Yes. But that one's actually, I would say, out of all the decades, 2010s were probably a blur for me. There's just so much happening in the 2010s, just hard to keep up with mentally,
Yeah.
physically, and financially. All those things, hard to keep up with the 2010s.
Runaway Train.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say 2010s. That whole decade. I'd agree with that. Decade before, not my favorite decade.
Yeah.
But I did move out here.
Yes.
Made a big move. Yeah.
In the 2020s, we're only 6 years in. Turned out to be kind of a weird, messed up decade.
Yeah.
Started out with COVID.
Yep.
Wherever you stand on that, COVID, 2020.
Weird nonetheless.
And I think the whole world
Lost
has
its
changed.
ever-loving mind.
It has lost its mind. It's gotten soft.
Oh.
You can't talk me out of that. People are soft. They want to whine about everything.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that. I don't like whining. I like people who stand up for themselves and others, thinking they're just deserve so much when they haven't earned it.
You just sound like an old guy now.
I'm sure I do, but it's all about the flash. And I can't stand the flash. People always want to show off.
Well, yeah. I think the internet's really got the narcissism on full throttle. But I don't know. Like people I actually know, it's not as bad as what I see on the reels.
Yeah. Agree to disagree. I think the world's trash.
It's hopeful.
Not the world. I think it's people. The world's a great place. Great place to be. Happy to be here.
And then now, total shift in the world. So we'll see.
Yes.
We're only halfway through this decade.
Yeah.
See where we end up in 2030.
Yeah. So I think we agree. A split decade, 85 to 95.
Right. Our formative years.
Your formative years.
I don't care how old you were or if you were born then, they were the best.
Yeah. You missed it.
You missed it.
Sorry.
We went from rotary phones to cell phones, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Rita. Appreciate your time.
I love you.
Love you too.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.